The human face has been art's most enduring subject, but how we choose to depict it reveals everything about our changing relationship with reality itself. The journey from Renaissance realism to Surrealist distortion represents one of the most dramatic transformations in art history, moving from the pursuit of perfect likeness to the deliberate fracturing of identity. In the 15th century, artists like Jan van Eyck revolutionized portraiture by making faces genuinely lifelike for the first time in Western art. Van Eyck's innovative use of oil painting allowed him to capture textures with unprecedented precision. The softness of skin, the sheen of silk, the individual hairs of fur. His portraits were so realistic that you could recognize the sitter if you passed them on the street. Leonardo da Vinci took this further with his development of sfumato, that smoky blurring of edges that mimicked how the human eye actually perceives faces. The Mona Lisa doesn't just look like a person. She seems to breathe, to think, to exist in three-dimensional space. Renaissance portraiture was built on scientific principles. Artists studied anatomy through dissection, mastered mathematical perspective, and developed chiaroscuro to sculpt faces with light and shadow. These painters believed that capturing external appearance meant revealing inner character. Every wrinkle, every glance, every subtle expression was meticulously observed and recorded. The goal was truth through precision, identity through accurate representation. But by the early 20th century, artists began questioning whether realistic representation could truly capture the complexity of human identity. The Surrealists, influenced by Freud's theories of the unconscious mind, believed that what lies beneath the surface matters more than what appears on it. René Magritte challenged the very concept of portraiture by obscuring faces with floating apples, transforming men into stone, and placing ordinary objects in impossible contexts. His work asked, if we can't even trust our perception of a simple apple, how can a realistic portrait capture the contradictions of human consciousness? Salvador Dalí pushed this further with his paranoiac critical method, creating portraits where faces melted, morphed, and multiplied. His technique of metamorphoses, transforming one object into another, reflected his belief that identity itself is fluid and unstable. In Dalí's world, a face might dissolve into a landscape or emerge from unexpected juxtapositions of unrelated objects. These weren't failures to achieve realism, they were deliberate rejections of the Renaissance assumption that external appearance reveals internal truth. The techniques couldn't be more different. Renaissance artists used careful observation, mathematical precision, and slow building layers of oil paint to create the illusion of solid, three-dimensional presence. Surrealists employed dislocation, unexpected juxtapositions, and dreamlike imagery to shatter that illusion. Where Leonardo spent years perfecting the subtle smile of the Mona Lisa, Magritte spent his career proving that even the most carefully rendered image is just a representation, not the thing itself. This evolution reflects a fundamental shift in how we understand identity. Renaissance portraiture assumed that the self is stable, knowable, and visible. Surrealist portraiture insisted that identity is fragmented, contradictory, and largely hidden from view. Both approaches sought truth, but they looked for it in radically different places, one in the mirror, the other in dreams. The face remains art's most compelling subject, but what we see when we look at it has changed forever.